today's video. We're making a roasted tomato soup, which is so delicious. I've got tons of tomatoes left over from the summer in my garden, and I wanted a really good way of using them up. The weather is on the turn, so soup is what we want for lunch, and this is so tasty. It's really easy. We're making it in the Ninja Foodi. We're going to roast the tomatoes on the bake setting to start with, and then move on to SEAR and SAUTE, and I'm going to show you how to make the most delicious tomato soup. To begin making my tomato soup, we're actually going to roast our tomatoes. These are tomatoes out of my gardens that are all random shapes and sizes, and I'm going to put them straight into the bottom of the Ninja pot here. Really want to give these some good flavour. Now, of course, you don't have to do this stage. You can make your base of your soup and then put your tomatoes in, simmer it away and do it like that. But I think this really adds some extra flavour. So if you've got the time, then do this basically. So tomatoes, a little bit of extra virgin olive oil or regular olive oil if you haven't got that. And then I'm seasoning them with some black pepper and some salt. The vegetables and herbs and everything is going to come at a later stage. Last thing to go in is a couple of cloves of garlic. You can definitely use more garlic if you wish to. I'm going to now bake these until they're nice and soft. Now, the baking of your tomatoes is going to be very dependent on how soft they already were. Mine was so super ripe. As you can see, they are mushing down really quickly in there. So these have only had 12 minutes, and look how soft they are. So I'm good with that. Yours may take longer though if you've got some from the supermarket and they're pretty firm. It's just really going to depend. So but you can open the lid, you can check this. So I'm going to take those out now because they're done enough for what I need. So I've removed the tomatoes, just put them to one side. I'm just stopping the bake and going on to SEAR and SAUTE now. I'm going to start with a little bit of oil in the bottom there just to get things going. And then the base of my soup is going to be carrot, celery, and also onion. So I'm going to cook this on fairly low, sort of medium low. I'm also adding butter to these as well. So a little bit of butter and some oil, and they are going to soften down so nice. Probably going to take around 10 to 15 minutes, I would guess, and you want to have these on a medium lowish heat. Now that these vegetables have softened down, you can see the onion and the celery are pretty translucent. They're looking really, really great. They've had, probably nearly 15 minutes. I'm going to tip in the tomatoes that we roasted earlier, and I have mushed them down a little bit further. They were pretty mushy because they were so ripe and soft. They were desperate to be used. So give those a mix through. We've still got those lumps of garlic in there, and that's absolutely fine. I'm going to be blending this later on, so I'm really not too worried about how chunky it is or the seeds and the pips. You can sift it as well if you wish to. I didn't have any fresh basil. If you've got fresh basil, you can most definitely use that. You can use dried basil. This one is one that you can buy in the supermarkets. It looks like this, and it comes in the freezer section. It's really handy to have that in your freezer just to flavour dishes as and when you need it. I'm going to add a bay leaf and some thyme sprigs. And then into that, I'm going to add my stock. I've chosen a chicken stock, but you could use vegetable stock. Obviously, if you want to keep this veggie, then use your veggie stock. Brilliant. That is everything in there now. So I'm just going to now let that simmer away. That's going to reduce because I'm going to leave the lid open. And we just want to get that to a nice consistency where I'm ready to blitz that up. After around 20 minutes, I find that mine is reduced down enough, and you can see that when we blitz this, it's going to be absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to remove the thyme sprigs because we don't really want to use those anymore. Don't want those in the soup. And then I've just got to try and find the other sprigs and the bay leaf in there as well, and we can give this a blitz. Get the lid on and let's give this a blitz. Now the consistency of the soup is going to be quite thick, but there's going to be little grains within it, if you can see. Now, if you like your soup like that, then leave it like that. If you preferred yours sieved, then you can sieve it. So really your choice. I wanted to show you the difference, so I thought I would actually sieve mine. If you like a chunkier soup, then leave yours. But if you just work at this, you can see you will end up with not very much left. You get almost like a pulp at the end. If you keep working it through that sieve, my sieve has got fairly small holes, but it's not a really super fine one, this. So you end up with a really small amount left at the end. And then I can probably keep going with that a little bit longer. And then you get a really rich, smooth tomato soup at the end. Look at that. Gorgeous. Just served up a big hearty bowl of my tomato soup. Garnished it with a little bit of cream just to give it that really nice edge. Serving it with a bread roll, and I'm probably going to put some butter on that as well. Look at that. Such a great lunch or dinner, this recipe. I hope you've enjoyed it. Don't forget to hit the like button for me and subscribe as well to my channel if you're new here. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.